Jamie Conlan getting the World Championship opportunity that he's waited for and fought for so long. That's going to be on this bill. Paddy Barnes in action, great hero here as well, of course. Zolani Tete going to be defending his world title and looking for a fight somewhere down the line against Ryan Burnett and looking to make a statement. His opponents, of course, will have very different ideas. And John O'Carroll as well, very popular fighter in Ireland, and he's going to be looking to post another impressive performance this weekend. Well, Francis, you're the guy who's putting it all together. Tell us what it means to have Carl Frampton back on board and back fighting here in Belfast.
Well, obviously, extremely delighted to be back here in Belfast, and you know, and even more so because we've got Carl Frampton. We'll be far short calling him a living legend for Belfast and what he means to this area. You know, it's been just a phenomenal response from the public in terms of the ticket sales and also from the media activity that Carl has brought. You know, when we started our television deal back in April with BT, the tagline was a new era, and this is certainly a new era for Carl Frampton. You know, new trainer, new management, new promotion, and very much one of the main focuses of BT Sport Boxing. And we're absolutely over the moon that we're here, and this is the first step to Carl getting back on the world title hunt. You know, we've got a couple of other guys in Carl's division, in Josh Warrington and Lee Selby, fighting next May. I'm sure Carl will have both eyes firmly fixed on that in May, but first and foremost he's got a job to do on Saturday, and we're just absolutely over the moon that we're back in Belfast and Carl's headlining here.
Yeah, just before we talk to the fighters as well, I mean, I've been coming here since the days of Dave McCauley, Ray Close, when Chris Eubank was in town, and it's always had a fantastic buzz about it. Belfast, it's a great fight town. People understand boxing, they don't just come along and support it sort of football fan style. I always get the impression when you come to Belfast, it's a proper fight city, and people really understand boxing over here. And from that point of view, it's lovely to be part of the buzz, isn't it? Absolutely,
you know, and you just look down the card as well. Obviously, Carl is headlining, but you know, you've got John O'Carroll, you know, fighting for his second title for the vacant IBF Intercontinental title. Paddy Barnes, triple Olympian, again fighting for his second title. He's in only his fifth fight. You know, it shows the confidence that we have in him, and you know, and his camp having Paddy, that he's capable of, you know, competing for another ranking title with the WBO. And obviously we've got Jamie Conlan, the man who definitely doesn't do it the easy way, and has everybody on the edge of their seats throughout all of his fights. And you know, nobody deserves a world title fight more than Jamie Conlan, and you know, we'll have full belief in him that he will be crowned the IBF world champion on Saturday night. So you know, you talk about a boxing city. This card is stacked with homegrown talent, and you know, we're just delighted that, you know, it's been well received by the fans, and we've got a packed arena on Saturday.
Well, carrying it on from there, it's probably a good place to start with the guys who are sitting on the front row first of all, if you can get your microphones ready, boys, and start with our two Irish fighters down there, Jono and Paddy. Let's have first word for Paddy Barnes, because I saw that lovely photograph that Carl Frampton put on Twitter earlier on of yourself, Jamie Conlan and Carl, and you know, they called it the Three Amigos. You guys go back a long way, don't you, Paddy?
Yeah, we've been fighting together since we were kids and on the Irish team, so you know, we've been friends since we're like 12 onward, so it's great now that we're on the same card of professionals in our home city, and probably one of the biggest cards Ireland's ever seen. So I'm just grateful and proud to be a part of a card of this magnitude.
You fought Carl. You were best man at his wedding as well, weren't you?
Yeah, I fought Carl 4 times. It's 3-1 to him, but it should be 2 each. I'm not going to that. But yeah, he's best man at the wedding too, and he's the godfather of the child. But you know, like, not just Carl and James, like, we're all close friends, and every boxer in Ireland are like very, very good friends, and they spur each other on, and I think that's why there's such a boom at the minute in Irish boxing.
It's so close over here, Paddy. You know, I mean, when you get up in the ring and you see, when you look out over the ropes, there must be so many people who you personally know who are in that audience. You know, you kind of at one with the people here.
Yeah, because Belfast's such a small city, so you know, if you don't recognise the face, he's probably not from Belfast. So it's great, but seeing the Belfast public come out in such great numbers to support their own boxers, and not hopefully, I know they will keep doing it for many more nights to come.
I'll ask you about your fight in a moment, but if you just pass the microphone to Jono, who's undefeated as well. He's undefeated in 14 fights now, and with a 12-rounder, with a chance of a belt here. Proud moment for you as well, potentially, Jono.
Yeah, well, realistically, this is what I've been training for the whole time. I'm constantly in camp, I'm constantly eating good, training, I'm never missing sessions. It's this time it's just been a pleasure really, because I was staying in the house with Paddy and I was staying with Jamie, so just seeing how these lads do it, it's a real privilege, you know. Early in my career, I started boxing when I was 15, so quite late, you know, so realistically fighting for these titles in just my 14th professional fight is going to be my 15th. So far so good, so please God, everything just, the ball keeps rolling and keep picking up these titles and soon to be world champion, you know.
Tough fight for you last time out, John. I got that split decision, wasn't it, against Johnny Quigley. What do you take from that?
Yeah, I take a lot of confidence. You know, I always knew I was good for the rounds. I'd done a 10-rounder before that and I was alright, but 12 rounds is still, it's good to get the 12 rounds mentally in, and now I know I can do it handy enough. That last fight was a very high-paced fight, so it was very good for the experience, but I put him down twice. I don't know how it was a split decision, but it was anyway. But as long as the belt came home with me, I was happy with that, you know.
And a Dubliner here in Belfast, there's going to be a massive atmosphere on Saturday night. I should imagine you're looking forward to that immensely.
Oh, 100%. Just to be on a card like this is, I'm so proud. You know, these are probably things I'm going to be telling me grandkids about. You know, realistically, on a card with 3-time Olympian, Jamie Conlan, soon to be a world champion. You know, Frampton, who's already a couple of weight world champion. This is going to be amazing. You know, just to pass these stories on to my kids and grandkids. It's yeah, big privilege. I'm very proud moment for me.
Now you've got a 12-rounder against a Mexican, Humberto de Santiago. What do you know of him?
I actually don't know much because he was a late step in, but them Mexicans all come to fight. It doesn't matter, as long as you're from Mexico, you know you can fight. They have a tough upbringing and everything else, you know. So I know he hasn't been stopped before, so I'll be trying to do a number on him. But I know he's a very tough opponent. I know Luke Jackson personally, so I know he fought him in Luke's last fight. So I was in contact with him trying to get a few bit of inside information, you know. But other than that, yeah, I don't know much about him. I just know he's a very tough opponent and he's game for the long rounds. So I just have to make sure I box smart and do what I do best, you know.
Well, we wish you well with that one, Jono. If we can bring Paddy back in here, who's going to be fighting for the vacant WBO Intercontinental Flyweight Championship in only his 5th fight, which would get him a WBO world ranking clearly. So is an important stepping stone. And the guy you're fighting, Paddy, Alicia Quezada from Nicaragua, he's been around a while and he's a tough guy, isn't he? He lost a disputed decision against a fella who pushed Andrew Selby all the way, and he had 2 wins earlier in his career against Yada Cardosa, who we know went to a split decision with Jamie Conlan in his last fight. So not doing you any favours here. It's a proper tough test.
Yeah, to be honest with you, sometimes I think to myself, what are we even doing? Picking opponents like this? It's ridiculous, but I think for me I need to be fast-tracked, and I know it's my fifth fight for my 2nd title, but this, for me, it's high risk, high reward. I'm not in here to mess about. I'm in here to be a world champion as fast as I can, and if I can't beat this guy on Saturday, then I know maybe I'm just not good enough, so I'll just throw myself in the deep end and see how it goes, but I'm confident I've had a good camp, and I know how good I am myself, and obviously it's going to be a tough fight, and probably the toughest fight in my career, amateur and professional, but I'm more than ready and I'm really looking forward to it.
And just a word before we pass on to the two guys to either side of you about the support that you'll get from the Belfast crowd, from your people. How much is that going to potentially lift you?
Yeah, there could be, well, I hope not, a few close moments in the fight, and I'm sure the Belfast crowd will be very, very football and get behind me and give me a bit of a push if I need it, but I'm hopeful I don't need that there, but just the fans being there and walking out before the fight, it's just the hairs in the back of my neck stand up. It's going to be great, and I'm just really looking forward to it.
Now moving on to the WBO Bantamweight title, Zelani Tete and his opponents Sibaniso Gonya, who are in appropriate headwear, which shows that from where they're from, Belfast at this time of the year is a little bit chilly. Both of them got in here at the weekend, ready to go, and Zelani, who we saw and first came to our attention with that fantastic win against Paul Butler a little while back, he's here defending his title once again and wanting somewhere down the line, as I alluded to earlier on, possibly a fight against the IBF and WBA super champion. That's Ryan Burnett, another big star here in Belfast. And Zelani, as anybody who follows boxing knows, has been one of the outstanding fighters of recent years, maybe the best in his division. But first of all, Zelani, tell us how your camp's gone, how your preparations have gone for this fight on Saturday.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here in UK again, especially in Belfast. The camp has been very well. We've been working hard, preparing for this fight for almost 2 months. I'm ready for the fight, can't wait for Saturday.
And what do you know about the man who you're facing?
You won't believe, this is actually the first time I see him face to face. We are from the same country, but he's living in another province. I don't know much about him, but I've seen 2 fights. He was fighting in Durban, and he's one of the great fighters, but not this time around.
And what do you anticipate happening on Saturday night? I saw somewhere somebody saying that you'd said that you thought you were going to get a knockout.
Yeah, definitely a knockout will be there. I'm giving him 4 rounds. It's up to him if he wants to end the fight in the 2nd round. I don't mind.
Well, let's hear from Sibaniso, who you know. Have you got a microphone there, mate? Yeah. You know you're in against one of the world's outstanding fighters. What are your thoughts about this fight? It's a fantastic opportunity for you.
First of all, I want to thank Zelani to give me this chance. So this chance, I was waiting for this chance long time ago. So now I'm happy the champion Zelani to give me this chance. But for me, Zelani, I can say maybe he can say whatever he wants, but I know that in the ring you can say anything. In the ring you can talk something else. Because Zelani is the one of the best boxer, but to me, he's the one who's given me. I saw him give me a belt into the head. So now I can say Zelani, he will see me in the ring doing something that he'll never think that I can do to him.
So what do you feel, what do you think when you hear him say, I'm going to get a knockout maybe in 4 rounds? If he wants it in 2, he can have it in 2. What do you think of that?
When you're using your mind, you can say anything what you want to say, but when it comes to the ring, it can happen differently. I know Zelani is kind of undermining me, like when he checking my record is 12 fights and he got 28 fights. But when it comes to the ring, we don't know what's going to happen. But according to my opinion, I'm going to win the fight maybe early, maybe 8th round. But I can say to myself, knockout is a bonus. But I'm ready to fight all the round. From round 1, I'm prepared for the 12th round. But what happened is can be upon us.
He's ready for you, Zolani. He says he might take you in the 8th round.
They all said that before, but they fall short. So I'm giving him credit. We'll see on Saturday. But I'm telling you one thing, I'm going to take him out.
Let's just talk for a moment about Ryan and the possibility of a unification fight against another great Belfast fighter. How much do you want that? Do you want to make a statement? Are you trying to force him into that?
You know, Ryan is a two-time world champion now. He's an IBF, WPA, Bantamweight champion. Let's give credit to the man. He has done well for himself. I think we need to unify the division. Let's see who's the king, who's the real king. I know he's one of the best fighters out there, but let's prove that we can do what we believe. Those like the likes of Floyd Mayweather's and I mean Carl Frampton has done it before. So why not? Let's do it as well.
Well, it'd be good to see. Unification fights are what the sport should be about, and it's not always about. You want to see the best fighting the best. Zolani's probably shown that in his division he is probably the #1, and to an extent he's been the avoided man for a long time. Ryan has made fantastic headlines over here, fought brilliantly. He's produced everything that people think he's capable of so far, and that, provided Zolani gets through his fight on Saturday night, would be a fight which for British boxing and for Belfast in particular would be a fantastic fight somewhere down the line. And I think you know, if Ryan is listening and watching right now, he's heard the man say it, he wants it, the offer I gather has been made, can be made, that fight can happen somewhere down the line. The title fight that we certainly will be seeing is the IBF Super Flyweight title. GERWIN ANCAJAS defending his title against Jamie Conlan, great Belfast hero. I've seen GERWIN fight, very talented boxer, calls himself Pretty Boy, and that's because he doesn't get hit too often. He's got a very good defensive style. This is the 3rd defence of the title he won against a very capable fighter called McJoe Arroyo a while back. He's been a pro since 17 years old, only 1 defeat on his record, and the Philippines expects great things of him. He's promoted by the greatest Filipino fighter of them all, Manny Pacquiao, so Manny's going to be watching on very carefully. Tell us, first of all, GERWIN, what it means, what you feel about fighting here in Belfast.
Excited po akong lumaban dito sa Belfast dahil po hindi lang po dahil sa ano po na yung kalaban ko po kasi magaling at talagang doon na po ako nag-excite sa mga magagaling na kalaban ko.
I am excited to fight here in Belfast because I know that my opponent is good and he is really excited in fighting with the best in his division.
People have called him an Irish Arturo Gatti. To say he likes a scrap is an understatement. Is he ready for anything that comes at him? Are you ready to go into a toe-to-toe brawl if need be?
Oo, sir. Ready po kami sa lahat ng kung ano mang mangyari, sir, sa laban na brawl, technique, kung ano mang kami, sir, naghanda po talaga kami. Ilang months din kami nag-training about sa ano niya, sir. Kasi si Jimmy naman kasi brawl yung ano niya, yung strategy niya.
Yes, sir, we are ready. We have seen the style of Jamie, and he's a brawler, and we're ready for it. And whatever else that he will bring to the table, we're ready.
Are you worried about the Belfast crowd, about the atmosphere that is going to confront you? He understands that one, he didn't need the translator.
Para sa akin, sir, hindi naman ako nag-worry sa tao dito sa Belfast. Kasi unang-una po, masaya po ako kasi maganda yung pakitungo nila sa amin, sir, sa team. Yung mga tao talaga na makasamuha mo, yung parang ano, sir, yung welcome ka po. Yan.
We are not ready. I mean, what I mean is we are not worried with the crowd who will be supporting JB, because so far they have been giving us the hospitality that we expected them to have.
Right, before we hear from Jamie himself, Danny Vaughan down at the far end of the table to my right, who is Jamie's trainer and has brought him to the perfect preparation, hopefully, for his big opportunity, his world title shot. And Danny, this guy, just tell the people here who've maybe not seen him fight, just what a good boxer he is, because technically he's excellent, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a fantastic boxer. Stand-up southpaw, really fast, sharp, can punch. He's a top draw fighter.
So what's the how do you negate that? Because we know what Jamie's about. He's you know, his last 3 fights have just been extraordinary. We're going to see more of the same.
We're going to box him this time a little bit more than usual.
Boxer plays boxer. Well, Jamie's last 3. Let me just put the old reading glasses on and get it right. Junior Granados, which was an incredible fight. I think it was voted Fight of the Year somewhere. Anthony Nelson and then Yara Carzoza. You must remember those, Jamie, and almost wince at the memory, don't you?
I don't even watch them, no. They'll just give me more grey hairs, and I don't need that there. But they were great nights, tough nights, but they were great nights, and you know, everyone was behind you, and it built up this kind of reputation. But Saturday will be different.
Steps along the way. I mean, this is what it's all about. This is what you're 31 years old now. This is what you've been fighting for, battling for, to get this fantastic opportunity.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. Learned off every single one of them. I made mistakes, and now it's the time to kind of rectify them mistakes at the perfect occasion, the biggest step, the pinnacle of the sport. And I'm excited to put on the performance that we believe that I have in me.
How's preparations gone this time? Because I have to say, you look extremely well.
Fantastic. I think everyone's cliche now that everyone says that they've had the best camp they've ever had, but I'm in a great place mentally. Happy. I'm very happy with the training. Very happy as a fighter. Very happy as a person. So that's first and foremost. Coming into a fight just is a complete different than maybe previous fights. The camp was great in 9 weeks actually. No injuries, everything was perfect. We brought in the best of sparring. We isolated ourselves away from home. We got down onto the nitty-gritty, and we went over everything. Danny Vaughan was meticulous in his approach of Gerwin. He holds him in very high esteem, so he was watching him daily and coming in and giving me a different tactic day by day. So it's the perfect camp for the perfect night.
Perfect night to get your world title opportunity in the biggest arena in Belfast in front of a sellout crowd. It's the things that dreams are made of, isn't it? But this guy is the gambling favourite. The bookies have got him as the favourite to successfully defend his title. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. We know the enormity of the task. You know, we've had fantastic world champions here in Belfast, but to overcome these kind of odds, it drives me on so much more. You know, everyone's expecting you to lose slightly, especially with the bookies. But I have a belief in myself that is deep down inside, and when I believe this much, there's no one stopping me.
A lot of people have come here today, of course, to see Carl, but I'm sure that a lot of the boxing fans here would go along with me, and when you say that you look at fighters who've got an amazing fighting heart, and this guy has certainly got that. Jamie is, you know, he goes to the brink and he finds a way to turn it round, to come back, undefeated in 19 fights now. When you get into those sort of, when it's all on the line, that situation where it looks as though it's going away and somehow you have to dig deeper and deeper and bite on your gum shield and come back. I mean, how much do you revel in that sort of situation?
I'm comfortable being uncomfortable. When you're in that kind of situation where like your blood's boiling, everything's on the line, as you're saying, you know, he's trying to put it on, you can see it in his eyes, but I'm very comfortable in that position. I'm at home, and if I know I can drag you into that position with me, then you're in a tough night.
Can you put it into words what it would mean to have that belt around your waist if you win it on Saturday night?
I don't think I can really put it into words. It's what dreams are made of. Like it's everything you work for your whole life, to do it in front of your own city against one of the best fighters in the world. It's why we get into this sport for.
It's going to be a great fight, I'm sure, and that is part of our bill, which we're going to be showing live on BT Sport on Saturday night and on BoxNation, and which has pretty much sold out the arena. I'm sure come Saturday night it is going to be absolutely rammed for one of the biggest bills that this country has ever seen. But the top of the bill is the thing which everybody's talking about, and the return, of course, of Carl Frampton, who's going to be fighting this 10-rounder featherweight fight against HORACIO GARCIA, who's by my side, Mexican, who's got 33 wins against 3 defeats, and as we know, they don't breed them soft in Mexico, and he's as tough as they come. In his 37 fights, he has never once been stopped, not once. And he's a decent boxer as well. You can guarantee that he will fancy upsetting the homecoming party for Carl, because if he were to win, he of course is catapulted right into the world rankings. Can I just ask you first of all, how important for you this fight is? How important?
Para mí es un combate muy importante porque siempre he querido esta pelea, siempre me he preparado y estoy listo para este tipo de eventos frente a un gran peleador.
You know, I always been prepared for this type of fights, especially for this kind of event. This is what I was looking for.
I don't know whether you know, and perhaps people out in the auditorium here now don't know, but Canelo Saul Alvarez is coming into the country, and he's going to be ringside on Saturday night, watching on. How much of a lift does that give you?
Sí, pues para empezar es una gran motivación. Siempre lo he visto desde que estamos entrenando. He visto cómo ha ido creciendo y mejorado siempre, y es una motivación para mí más.
Yes, of course, this is an extra motivation for myself. You know, we start together at the beginning, so I've been seeing how I've been climbing, you know, the sport. So this is very important that he's coming to this fight, and that's an extra motivation for myself.
And you plan to spoil the Carl Frampton party?
Sí, vengo muy bien preparado. Vengo a dar lo mejor, dejarlo todo arriba del ring.
Absolutely, you know, I'm going very well prepared, and I'm going to leave everything in the ring. So it's going to be a great fight.
He'll certainly have the opportunity to get up in the world rankings if he wins it, and it could be the opportunity that he's been looking for to get the huge fight himself. Just before we pass the microphone on to Carl and Jamie, how highly do you rate Carl as a fighter? Is he the best fighter you've ever faced?
Es un gran peleador, sé de toda su carrera, lo profesional que se prepara. Para mí me abriría las puertas a las grandes peleas, y como quiere uno continuar en esto porque está joven, tengo la juventud y quiero lograr en el boxeo que mi nombre, cada que lo nombren como un gran peleador.
I know Carl, he's a great fighter, you know, he's one of the best fighters. He's been in this sport for a long time, and obviously a victory over him is going to put me on the top of the rankings, and people is going to remember Horacio Garcia as one of the guys who defeated Carl Frampton.
Right, can we pass this down to Jamie now? Oh, you've got one. Okay. Jamie, Jamie Moore, this is, who's been training Carl for this fight, taking over from Shane McGuigan, and he's got him into his state of readiness. Jamie, you've been around the sport for a fair few years now. How much have you enjoyed working with this fella?
Yeah, it's been great to work alongside Carl. As you can imagine, as a trainer, you want to, or you hope to work along with the best fighters in the world, and Carl's without a doubt one of the elite fighters in the world at any weight. So it's been a privilege. It's been enjoyable. He's put the graft in, but he's slotted in nicely to the gym. You know, there's a great atmosphere in my gym, and he's created by a few different characters, and Carl fits right in there. It's been a great camp, and I'm looking forward to everybody seeing the performance he puts in, because he's in great form.
Understandably, after the defeat to Leo Santa Cruz last January, I think you know, that must have been a huge blow, and maybe, well, Carl will tell us himself in a moment or two, that maybe he fell out of love with the sport for a while. But you've worked alongside him. How much do you see the sparkle right back, Jamie?
Well, he's got a smile on his face again, and that's a big thing for me. I think any fighter that's going to perform at his best has to be content and happy. You know, you can't, if you've got clouds hanging over you or your mind's not in the right place, you're never going to perform to your best. And he's in good form. He's in a good place mentally, and I think that means that you're going to get the best performance out of him.
And he might need to have his best performance, because this fella alongside me, he is one tough guy, isn't he?
Absolutely. I've seen plenty of fights of his. I've been studying him, getting used to the sort of stuff he does. You know, he's no pushover, that's for sure. And I'm sure going in against someone like Carl will bring the best out of him. But he's going to need that, because the form Carl's in, he's in fantastic form, and I think you're going to see a special performance.
Carl, back here in Belfast, star of the show. You must be just looking forward to it immensely, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I can't wait to get fighting. It's great that it's at home again, and first of all, what a bill, you know, Jamie Conlan fighting for a world title, always in good fights. Paddy, Jono, Zolani Teddy, one of my favourite fighters to watch as well. Quality build from top to bottom. So it's a privilege and an honour really to be topping it. And but I'm feeling good, and I'm looking forward to putting in a good performance.
You were in a sort of fairly dark place after your defeat in January, but you've fallen back in love with it, haven't you?
Yeah, I feel good, and Jamie mentioned, he talked about himself, or about how important it is, Jamie Conlan, this is, not Jamie Moore, how important it is to feel good as a fighter and be happy, and his training camps went well, and likewise for myself, I don't know what it is, but people are mentioning it to me, they're approaching me in the street and they're talking about it, and they see a spring in my step. You know, I notice the difference, but everyone else can notice too, and I'm in a good place right now, and I think that the best is still yet to come.
You're in a place where you've got big ambitions again.
Yeah, you know, I've been a world champion. I've done a lot in my career. You know, some would say I've overachieved, but I still believe there's a lot more to come. I know I can become a world champion again. I know that I can beat any featherweight in the world on my day. So I believe the best is yet to come.
Josh Warrington's going to be at ringside on Saturday night. He's seemingly heading towards a fight against Lee Selby in the new year for the IBF title. That would be one option. I guess Santa Cruz as well, a rematch somewhere, is another one you'd be burning for, wouldn't it?
Yeah, all these fights interest me, but there's only one person on my mind at the minute, and that's Horacio Garcia. He's a very good fighter. He's, you know, if you want to stereotype a Mexican fighter, he is that. You know, he comes forward, he's aggressive, he punches hard, he takes a good shot, he punches long. And he's come from a good team. He's with Canelo's people and with Golden Boy, and he's got a big entourage with him, so I think they're expecting him to put in a good performance. But he's the only man in my mind at the minute, but you know, there's big fights that excite me. Santa Cruz, being the #1, but Warrington, Selby, any of these guys. But we can look at that after Saturday night.
Well, let's just talk before we open it up to people in the audience about actually getting back into the ring on Saturday night. You know, you have this extraordinary love affair with your Belfast people, don't you? It's going to be special for you, isn't it? Just hearing the roar of the crowd again.
Yeah, it will be. I think that the atmosphere is created in the Odyssey, or SSE. I keep getting shouted at for calling it the Odyssey. The atmosphere is created is the best in world boxing anywhere. In terms of arena size, it's not the biggest. It holds about 9,000, but it sounds like there's 30,000. It's a cauldron. It's unreal. I have a good record in that arena. I think I've had 5 or 6 fights. I've won all by knockout, and I'm hoping to do the same on Saturday.
Knockout victory? Is that what you're predicting?
I'm not predicting anything apart from a win. I want to win, but I know that me, in the form of my life, and the way I've been performing in the gym, not to be disrespectful to HORACIO GARCIA or anyone, but I believe I can. The way things are going right now, I can beat anyone in the world, any featherweight, and I can beat them all by stoppage.
We've got a lot of television cameras, a lot of interviewers, members of the press here, so it's time now to open it up to you. Here they are. We'll have one-on-one opportunities afterwards. All the guys are here and we'll talk through the bill for you. But sorry, beg your pardon.
Besides the fight, don't forget they have a great training. Eddie's a great also training. So do another part. It's a good training. Good training.
Good trainers indeed. We have great trainers for the fighters here. Any questions from the floor, please?
Hi guys, question to Carl. Tony here from BFBS Radio. Hi Carl. There's been so much changes for you this year. What's been the biggest single change that you felt coming into this fight?
Biggest change? I don't know. It's a hard one. There has been so much changes. You know, people do. Usually, when people change things up in camp, they change one thing at a time. A trainer, manager, promoters. I've done everything. So obviously, I've changed everything. But you know, people may have said that was a bad thing at this stage of my career. But the way I'm feeling right now, mentally, I think it's a good thing.
Francis, first question to you. Bear in mind what happened the last time Carl was meant to fight. Have you done all the health and safety checks on the showers and all the hotels? But seriously though, do you feel, Francis, that Saturday night is the time for Carl to show, after being out of the ring for 10 months, that he is right back to his best and a force again in the featherweight division?
Well, there's no better time for him to do so. You know, you can hear, you know, by the sound in his voice, the spring in his step, obviously from what Jamie's told us about his training camp, that I think we're all in for a real treat on Saturday. You know, he's very respectful to HORACIO GARCIA, you know, not looking past him, but, you know, I'm sure he must have one eye sort of, you know, down the road on the mega fights next year, but, you know, I think first and foremost we're all in for a real treat on Saturday.
Carl, probably the best performance was in the Odyssey or the SSE was the night you beat Avalos. Can we expect a similar level of performance on Saturday?
That or better. Honestly, the way I've been performing in the gym, I've felt super sharp. I'm not, you know, going into a fight with little niggles here and there. I'm 100% ready. Training camp has been perfect from start to the finish, so I think you're going to see something special on the night.
Finally, Jamie, you said that you're physically in the best shape. Have you had to get yourself mentally ready for the emotion that's going to be, the adrenaline rush, the fact that it's a world title fight when you step through those ropes?
Yeah, well that's it. I'm more mentally ready than anything. It's something you've dreamed about since you were a kid. You know, you kind of envision it since you've kind of you start to get good at boxing. That's what you always kind of look forward to and stuff like that there. But for the last 12, 11 weeks that we kind of knew this fight was happening, I've dreamed this fight near enough every night to go to bed. You know, I'm mentally ready, physically ready. I couldn't be any more prepared.
Any more from the members of the press? Television reporters? Anybody want to shout up? Yeah, anything coming in online?
Yeah, there's a question here from Adam Flounders. He's asking, it's for Jamie. So Cal Yafai is a super flyweight champion as well. He won his belt against Lewis Conception. Do you consider Gerwin to be a better opponent than Lewis Conception was for Cal Yafai?
100%. I think Gerwin, as I said before, is probably top 2 in the world, in the hottest division in the world. You know, kind of, he's so far he's looked flawless in all his fights. When you watch him back, he hasn't been exploited on YouTube or anything like that there. So yeah, I definitely do.
And have you done anything differently considering the enormity of this fight?
Everything. We've upped everything. We've brought in former world champions in the sparring, which I've never really done before. It wasn't really a big sparring guy. But for this one, we put everything in. We wanted to leave no stone unturned. We went to Glasgow where Ricky Burns trained. They beat Roman Martinez when he was the big underdog. So I kind of take a wee bit of inspiration of that as well. And I've worked with southpaws my whole life. I brought Michael in. You know, my old professional coach, Eamon McGee, was a southpaw, and he used to just drive it into me how to beat a southpaw. So it was something that kind of we've worked on a long time.
Thanks, Jamie. We've got one for Zolani Tete here as well, from John Brennan. He's asking, so Carl Frampton said that you're one of his favourite fighters to watch. How much does that mean to you?
Yeah, man, that means a lot to me. He's one of the best fighters, and he's recognizing me as one of the best fighters. I mean, that's a privilege. Thank you very much, John.
Just, we've heard from Jamie as well. We've got Horacio's trainer here as well, and can you just tell us a little bit about how preparations have gone for this and how you're hoping that you're going to be able to beat Carl?
Buenos días. Pues realmente hicimos una muy buena preparación. Horacio viene de pelear en septiembre, terminó rápido, entonces seguimos la preparación y nos salió esta pelea y es una pelea muy importante. Sabemos que Frampton es un excelente boxeador, pero también sabemos que tenemos con qué ganarle y por eso estamos aquí.
Yes, we did a great preparation. You know, he fought in September and he finished early, so he continued working. We know that Frampton is a great fighter, but also we know we have the potential, we have the skills to beat him.
I look forward to it, and I'm sure the whole of Belfast and the boxing public are looking forward to this. This is going to be a truly exceptional fight card. And last word for Francis. It's one you must be proud to be associated with, and a final word for everybody to get along if possible.
Yeah, of course, absolutely thrilled to bits to be, as I said, back in Belfast. You know, this is a fantastic card from top to bottom, bottom to top. We are pretty much sold out. There are very limited remaining tickets that can be purchased from the SSEArenaBelfast.com, Ticketmaster.co.uk and FrankMoran.com. And also very special mention to sponsors 32 Red, Foot Asylum and Raynham Steel. This is a cracking event. I hope you've all bought your tickets. If you haven't, we're live on BT Sport. We're also live on BoxNation. Great to be in Belfast and see you all on Saturday. Thanks very much.